Hey everybody, Al Fragnoli and Zach Sooty coming at everybody today with League of Leaders. We're joined today by Katie DiGirolamo from the Toronto Blue Jays. Katie is the project manager for the Toronto Blue Jays. She's working in Dunedin, Florida, in their spring training home in their Florida operations department. Katie, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me. It's so good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Katie.
Great to see you too. Thanks again for coming on with us. We've got quite a few, well, not a ton, but we got quite a few questions that we want to talk to you a little bit about. The first question that we want to ask today is tell us a little bit about your journey in sports and how you got to the position you're currently in today. You've been in baseball and in the sporting world for about 7 or 8 years now. So talk to us for a minute about how you got to the position you have right now.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, I grew up with a dream to play college volleyball. So I did that at Stetson University, got a scholarship. But there's where I really found my love for sports and wanting to work in them. I was the president of the Stetson Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So all NCAA schools are required to have this committee. And it's basically the voice for all the student athletes within the athletic department, within the university, and within the community. So I loved this so much. I ended up earning my way to be the Atlantic Sun Conference representative for the NCAA Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So doing this, I really grew to love how sports is just so much more than just a competition and ticket sales. It's for lobbying for what's right for the athlete, for the woman, and for the person underneath the uniform. So that's kind of where my passion really stems from. So then also during college, I worked for the Bradenton Marauders, Pittsburgh Pirates with some pretty fine interns, if I do say so myself. And we worked in every aspect of game entertainment, sales, promotions, grounds crew, pulling tarp, you name it. And so then I really knew my end goal was to work in baseball. I loved the sport so much. And then after college, I was lucky enough to land a job as the executive assistant for the managing director at IMG Academy, which is a world-renowned sports academy. So there I learned from the best of the best, my mentor to this day. His name is Greg Phillips, and I was with him for 4 years and basically learned how to grow and build programs and about the inner workings of all the departments. This was a really special job because it forced me to work at a high level and a really high standard and diversified my skill set. So not really pigeonhole myself into one discipline. So really, overall, my foundation and journey in sports stemmed from that passion of the athlete's environment, their experience, and the purpose within their organization and within their community. So then one day, our boss of the Pirates, Trevor Gooby, he reached out to me and recommended me for this unposted position, project manager for the Toronto Blue Jays over in Dunedin. And they at the time were investing $81 million in a brand new player development complex, new construction, and renovating their spring training stadium. In a nutshell, I was hired to manage those design process and oversee construction, the capital purchases, and the move-in transition for those two projects. So I was the liaison between the Blue Jay staff and the architects and the contractors, as well as designing all the furniture, all the equipment, and really taking care of everything that was outside of the contractor's scope.
Katie, we've watched your career over the last few years, and I'd like to say how proud we are of you. And I must say, it's not surprising. You've had success early in your career. You've always carried yourself with such professionalism, and your work ethic is undeniable. So Al and I are both proud of you and glad to talk to you today. The renovation that has happened in Dunedin was a long time in the making. Tell us a little bit about when discussions first came about and some of the early steps that occurred in the renovation of the complex.
Sure, you're absolutely right. The county and the state were having discussions with the Blue Jays for 4 to 5 years about this project. And I was hired 2 years ago in July of 2018 after the building program was already completed by the Jays. The initial budget had been set, the contracts were signed, and design had just kind of kicked off. So initially my job was really solidifying those drawings at the beginning. So a lot of collaboration with staff and different departments to make sure what was reflected on the drawings made up to be their perfect environment. So in the retail store, working with the manager on layouts and fixtures and electrical and lighting to make sure that was going to be her perfect space. And then working with the strength and conditioning team on how big the space is, the equipment racks, again, electrical, and just how do we make this the perfect weight room. So then after the design was finalized, it evolved into construction and buying out all those different trades. So working with the contractors to make sure everything was according to budget and scope wasn't missed, and still coordinating those drawings at the time. So then after the buyout process, it's then overseeing construction and quality control, working out those final kinks and questions, really taking a lot of site walks and being out there. I actually have a pink hard hat, so everyone knows when they can see me coming. And then finally, what we're working in now is the transition. And so I'm working through delivery schedules of all of the furniture and weight room equipment, staff communication, logistics, and like operational preparations. So the current complex that they're working out of is 30,000 square feet. And this new building is 115,000 square feet, state-of-the-art building. So it's definitely a big shift for the organization and a lot of things we need to buy and a lot of things we need to get ready for. So it's just been a long time coming, a lot of years that this organization has been investing in this project.
That's awesome. We've seen some videos. The new complex is a state-of-the-art facility, one of the best in all of baseball, probably the best in all of baseball when it's all completed. With that being said, what are you most proud of with this project?
It's a good question. As you know, construction goals are supposed to be on time and under budget. And proud to say we were successful with that at TD Ballpark. The grand opening was a very rewarding day. It was a sold out crowd. It was a record crowd for that stadium, and there was just so much joy. It was incredible. And but then the complex has required a bit more investment in time and money. But as you said, we are confident that this is going to be the best spring training facility and also the best in Major League Baseball. So they hope this to be a 365-day-a-year facility, the southern home for the Jays. And our president has described it as a trickle-up effect. So hoping that this investment will help us win World Series championships. So we start moving staff in November with the grand opening in February before spring training. But I think overall what I'm most proud of with this project is helping to execute that vision for this organization and contributing to the purpose of this investment. So it's been such an honor to work with Mark Shapiro and everyone in Toronto and Dunedin to help build their perfect space. It's been such a learning experience for me, but everyone truly believes in this investment and they believe in what this building is going to do for the culture of the organization, what it's going to do for the record of the team. I'm just really proud to help be a part of that and just learn so much in the process.
Awesome. Katie, you've had quite a bit of success early on in your sports career here. If you have one thing that you can say to women who are looking to break into the sports industry, what would it be?
Listening to some of your old podcasts, you mentioned male, female, it's hard to get into sports. It's hard to break through. There's a lot of grinding. Everyone wants that stadium and that arena to be their office. And there's just so much passion there. But teams need a women's touch. And my advice would be to find what makes you unique and use that niche and use that experience, your knowledge, and differentiate yourself from everyone else. And it's not going to be easy, and you might have to work a little bit harder than someone else, and you're going to have to prove yourself, but your work ethic, your talent, your uniqueness, and that's going to get you places. That's what's going to make you not replaceable. And for me, it's been, at first I didn't pigeonhole myself into a certain discipline within business and within sports, working with Greg at IMG. And now I'm really trying to find how I can find my place within facility design and facility builds, and how that really can help organizations with their competitive advantage.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Katie. This was all fantastic stuff that you shared with us today. We can't thank you enough for your time and coming on and answering some questions for us and our viewers that we had today. We know you're incredibly busy. We know this year's season was obviously cut short, spring training and no minor league baseball, but we know that next year with the new stadium and the new player development complex, that there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff going on for the Toronto Blue Jays organization as a whole and for Dunedin. So keep up the great work, and thanks again for taking some time out with us this Sunday.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure to be with you guys.
Thanks, Katie.
Great.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
See ya. Bye.